Hi, I'm David Traversi, and this is part of our series called How to Sell Your Business. We're moving into the second major part of this work. It asks the question, is your business ready to sell? And in this episode, we're going to cover the hallmarks of a transaction-ready company. Now, you may have a strong desire to sell, and you'll know that in your gut, but less instinctive is whether your business is ready to sell. Now, there are certain preconditions to selling your business. That's not to say it will be impossible to sell your business if they're not in place, but they will present serious challenges. Here's what we consider as important preconditions. First is that you have the hallmarks of a business desirable to strategic and financial investors. Well, what are those hallmarks? Strong, proven growth, solid growth prospects, good profit margins, proprietary value, something that makes it not a commodity, a solid employee and management base, solid processes and procedures, a high employee retention rate, good reporting and accountability mechanisms, and no, audited financial statements are generally not required, a solid record as a good member of the community, a low risk profile, and professional representation in all dimensions. For instance, your offering materials, your legal and accounting representations. So once you have the hallmarks of a business desirable to investors out there, what are the other preconditions? Well, another is no existing litigation or potential litigation. Obviously, no buyer wants to walk into the middle of something that may drag them into court. Next is an ability to sell. There may be parties that have the right to block your sale or whose consent is required before you sell. These may include other shareholders or owners of your business, landlords, check your lease, lenders, check your loan documents, or regulatory authorities. Next important precondition is informal agreement of key employees. If you have key employees that might quit if you sell your business, it will behoove you to get at least their informal agreement that they support your selling the business and won't quit upon a sale. Another precondition, time to manage the sale process. Selling a business takes a lot of time. We think it's an approximate 50% full-time job over the course of 3 to 6 months. You can save a lot of money selling your business yourself and very likely do a better job than others might, but you must have the time to do it right. If you don't have the time right now, do you have other resources that can cover what you are currently working on? Another precondition is sufficient liquidity to cover the cost of the process. We recommend you prepare a realistic estimate of the cost of selling your business and ensure that you have sufficient liquidity, in other words, cash, to cover the expenses. The largest expenses will be one, a broker or investment banker commission, i.e. a success fee, if you choose to use a broker. For companies below the lower middle market, the fee will likely be 8 to 15% of the selling price. For companies worth over $20 million, the cost will be about 3 to 5%, with a declining percentage as the value of the transaction increases. And most intermediaries charge a retainer fee to be paid during the sales process, sometimes credited against the success fee and sometimes not. Next is legal fees, which can run from the tens of thousands into the hundreds of thousands of dollars and should be negotiated heavily and strictly managed, ideally with a cap on total fees. And finally, tax advisory fees, which should be significantly less than legal fees, but still strictly managed. Thank you, and look for future episodes of How to Sell Your Business.